Welcome back to the All Purpose Pod for an All Purpose Life, wherever you are and however you're listening to. They call me Mr. Yu in the Inspiration Station. Thank you for making us part of your week. You know I appreciate you, right? I'm real grateful for you guys, your comments, your questions, your sharing us on your social media platforms, and just subscribing to our shows and all that we're doing. Thank you for continuing to keep us afloat, and even for those that support us financially. Definitely appreciate it. All the production costs and helping us kind of evolve and kind of expand a little bit. You help us do that. So thank you again for all your support. I want to share with you a quick thought that I think as leaders, we definitely need to consider. If you don't see yourself as a leader, you may not be looking deep enough. We all lead in some way, shape, or form. And I want to try to flesh out some of what I believe is inside of you that maybe has been left a bit dormant. So hopefully you can be patient with me for a few minutes. See if I can try to figure this out. But as leaders, ask yourself this question. Are you a tour guide or are you a travel agent? Are you a tour guide or are you a travel agent? If you're a travel agent, more than likely, I've had plenty of those, they recommend I go to places that they haven't been. They heard about, they know things about, but they haven't been in themselves in most cases. A tour guide has actually been somewhere. If you go to Africa and go on a safari, the person that's going to be leading you guys will be a tour guide. Why? Because he's been there before. He knows the entire terrain, the tendency of the animals, how they will treat you, how they will approach. He or she knows all those things because they've been there before. The travel agent hasn't been to every single country in every single city. So all they can do is advise about what they know. But as a leader, are you a tour guide or are you a travel agent? Have you been to places where you are trying to get somebody to follow you into? Have you been there yourself? Or you're a travel agent and you've never been to these places, but you want somebody to follow you because you've been named the leader? I really believe it with all my heart. And I quote James chapter 1 a lot. It's a very special scripture to me. I believe that in order for us to, or I should say before we change others, we need to change ourselves. Before we lead others, we need to lead ourselves. Often in those cases, if we do that, others will be more apt to follow us and be led by us. I want to encourage you guys because I know a lot of you, and I've heard some of the messages and some of the comments that have come to me personally, excuse me, that kind of imply, or you're trying to tell me in a subtle way, that you don't believe you're a leader. You don't believe you have anything to offer. I've tried my best to encourage you in regards to that. Hopefully I've done a good job where that's concerned and giving you a little bit more to think about. But the bottom line is this world, as crazy as it is, with all that's going on around us, we have seen some things that are kind of cyclical, if I can say that. They've been around before, some iterations of this, but we're seeing new things that we've never seen before, new advances in technology, misuses of technology. We've seen a lot of different things we haven't seen before, but for the most part, a lot of these things kind of recycle over and over again over decades and centuries. But the bottom line is this world, as crazy as it may seem to you, this world needs a you. Maybe sitting in your bedroom or wherever you are and not really believing what I'm saying. Maybe not even buying that at all. Ask me how I know this. I know because I felt it. At times, you just don't see the point. Why should you keep trying this? This is not working. I've tried it, but it's just not what it's supposed to be. Why do I keep trying this? But I personally believe, with all of my heart, that we're embarking on the greatest opportunity for leadership arising in our lifetimes. And there's a cry for it. And it wasn't that no one heard the cries for justice. It wasn't that no one saw the ravaged countries and the starvation of thousands of people, maybe even millions of people. And it wasn't that you didn't see your next door neighbor wearing dark sunglasses on a cloudy, rainy day. It's not sunny outside. What are you doing? It wasn't that you didn't see that. You saw it. We had every sign in the world but a bat signal hanging over Gotham City. Throughout history, we have seen so many things that remind us that we need strong leadership in every area. Name a place, name a genre, Name a field of study or a field of occupation. We need a leader everywhere. We need more leaders. The ones that we have, in many cases, they're not really leading it. They're leading us down roads we shouldn't be going down because of character, integrity, things of that nature. But throughout history, the earth has cried out for someone to lead. The world needed a Jonah. The world needed a Noah, a Daniel, and a Gideon. Gideon was considered the least of his family and his tribe. Excuse me. Think about that. The least of his family and his tribe. And God used him to deliver a nation. The earth cried for someone to lead. Noah was building the ark when there was not even a drop of rain. For over 100 years, preaching the same gospel and building the ark where there wasn't a sign of rain, being mocked and ridiculed. And eventually preserving some lives. The world needs a you. The earth is crying out for someone to lead. I believe that there's seeds of greatness inside every single one of you that's watching and listening to this broadcast right now. I really believe that. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 kind of gets deep into it. But to be brief, it says that we're carrying a treasure inside of us. Our vessels aren't great. Our vessels are on limited time. Our vessels are not even strong and stable. But inside of those vessels, those weakened vessels, is a great treasure. We have that on the inside of us. Every single one of you that's watching and listening to the broadcast today. Your vessel may be challenging you every single day, but inside of you is a great treasure. The world needs a you. People are walking around right now like The Walking Dead, like in real life, not a TV show. I mean, like in real life. But you have access to life. I guess the question I want to ask you is, will you conform to all the death that's so prominently around you all the time, that death mentality, or will you resist that and allow yourself to be changed and transformed, like the Bible talks about in Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You may know what the good and holy and perfect and acceptable will of God. Will you conform to the death around you that's prominent in your life right now, or will you resist that and allow yourself to be transformed and be what the world is needing right now, the leader that the world needs right now? You don't have to be in politics. You can be in computers, music, maybe some area of government, administration, some kind of global missions work, advocacies for children. You can do so many different things and still lead and positively impact your world in some way, shape, or form. Excuse me. The world is waiting for you, waiting for you to show up. See, now I'm gonna bust a bubble today because that's what I do. Many of you have been looking around waiting for the next person to do it. Oh, they got more degrees than I do. They have more experience than I do. They just look better. They kind of look the part. They're more fit for this. But when God was choosing the king, he went through David's whole family. All of them had the right stature, the right look, and God denied them all and picked David, the ruddy young man that spent most of his life out in the field fighting lions and bears and wolves to protect the sheep and to maintain the family finances. Stop looking at how they look and what you think they should be doing. The world is waiting for you, not of them. The world is waiting for you to step up. Are you willing to lead on that level? Are you a tour guide? Or are you a travel agent? Have you been to the places that you want people to follow you into? Have you lived the life and had the kind of experience and integrity and faithfulness that someone will follow you? The world is crying out for somebody to lead. There's no question. There's multiple cries for that. I think you're one of the people who can help. You have the ability to help where you are. The world needs you. I'll ask you one final question and we're out of here. Are you willing to live a purpose-filled life, even if it cost you the one that you originally wanted? I'm going to say it again one more time for those that's in the back. I want you to hear this. Are you willing to live a purpose-filled life, even if it cost you the one you originally wanted. Wherever you are and however you're listening to They Call Me Mr. Yu and the Inspiration Station, thank you again for making us a part of your week. Wherever you find our show on the audio side, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or on our YouTube channel or on social media where this is simulcasted. Drop your comments and your questions. I'd love to hear from you personally. Beside that, enjoy the episode. Go back and hear the part you may have missed. I'd love to hear the answer to those questions. Are you willing to live a purpose-filled life, even if it costs you the one you originally wanted? Please enjoy. Have a great day. Talk soon.